President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping held a high-stakes telephone conversation that addressed the most sensitive issues currently straining relations between the world's two largest powers. Beijing confirmed that President Xi pressed his American counterparts heavily on the issue of Taiwan, declaring that its return to mainland China is an integral part of the post-war international order and urging Washington to respect the history of World War II. The call took place shortly after the Trump administration approved a defense package valued at $330 million for Taiwan, a move that China condemned as a gross violation of the One China principle. During the exchange, the leaders also discussed the ongoing conflict in Ukraine, with President Xi stating that the crisis must be resolved at its root rather than through symptom management. This direct communication comes at a moment of fragility in the Indo-Pacific, as the White House attempts to balance its trade interests with its security commitment to regional allies who are increasingly wary of Chinese assertiveness. The security environment in the East Asia has deteriorated further following Japan's decision to deploy defensive missile systems on Yonaguni Island, located just a short distance from Taiwan. Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has previously hinted that Tokyo could intervene militarily if China moved against the island, a statement that triggered a fierce diplomatic backlash from Beijing. In response to these developments, Hong Kong leader John Lee publicly backed the hardline stance of the central Chinese government, announcing the suspension of official communication with Japan's consulate. Lee accused Tokyo of undermining regional stability and crossing critical red lines, warning that such rhetoric damaged the atmosphere for cultural and economic exchange. Japanese Defense Minister Shinjiro Koizumi insisted that the military upgrades on the southern island are strictly defensive measures necessary to reduce the risk of armed attack. But the dispute has escalated into the most significant bilateral crisis between the two nations in years. In the Western Hemisphere, the Trump administration has taken drastic action against the government of Venezuela by formally designating President Nicolas Maduro and high-ranking members of his inner circle as part of a foreign terrorist organization. The United States Department of Justice alleged that the Venezuelan leadership is inextricably linked to the cartel de los Soles, a criminal network accused of flooding American streets with illicit narcotics. This designation provides United States authorities with expanded legal powers to impose severe sanctions and prosecute individuals associated with the Venezuelan state. Caracas strongly rejected the allegations, describing the move as a political maneuver designed to justify military aggression and economic strangulation. The diplomatic rupture coincides with reports of a significant United States naval buildup near Venezuelan waters, which Washington characterized as a counter-narcotic operations, though regional observers fear it could be a prelude to a more direct intervention aimed at regime change. Military friction involving Russian forces has extended beyond the immediate battlefield of Ukraine, triggering alarms along the border of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. The British Royal Navy reported a sharp increase in Russian naval activity near the United Kingdom, culminating in the interception of a Russian corvette and tanker moving through the English Channel. The HMS Severn shadowed the vessels before handing over surveillance duties to Allied forces off the coast of Brittany, amid accusations that Russian ships have previously used dangerous lasers to distract crews. Simultaneously, the Romanian Ministry of Defense scrambled German Eurofighter Typhoon and Romanian F-16 fighter jets after radar system detected suspected Russian drones operating near the Danube River port of Izmail. While no foreign aircraft were confirmed to have entered Romanian airspace, the proximity of the strikes to NATO territory highlights the growing risk of an accidental spillover as Moscow targets Ukrainian grain infrastructure near the border. Global economic anxiety was given a voice at the Group of 20 summit in South Africa, where Singaporean Prime Minister Lawrence Wong issued a blunt warning regarding the direction of international trade policy. Speaking to world leaders, Wong criticized the weaponization of trade and the aggressive use of tariff, a clear reference to the protectionist measures favored by the Trump administration. He warned that the global order risks collapse if major powers continue to take unilateral actions that dismantle the established rules of commerce. His remarks underscore the deepening apprehension among United States partners who rely on open markets for their survival and fear that a new trade war could trigger a worldwide recession. As Washington pushes for better terms for American workers, smaller nations are finding themselves caught in the crossfire of a shifting economic landscapes that prioritize national strength over global cooperation. If you have made it this far, congratulations, you have unlocked the truth. I want to ask you a quick question though. As Japan deploys missiles near Taiwan and President Xi demands Washington respect the One China principle, do you see the rapid escalation in the Indo-Pacific combined with the US designating the Venezuelan government as terrorists, as inevitable posturing? Or are we witnessing the actual opening move of a third global front that will force the US to choose between defending Europe or defending Asia, and why? Join the debate. We want to hear your insightful opinion on where this is all heading in our community. Share your thoughts in the comments below. I appreciate your support. Thank you for being a part of this journey. Like the video, share this video with friends and family, hit the notification bell, and most importantly, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one.